Geoprocessing tool or geoprocessing is a fundamental aspect of geospatial engineering, which involves the manipulation and analysis of geographic data to draw meaningful insight. It includes a suite of operations that enable us to analyze, transform, and manage spatial information, and this helps us to do it efficiently. All right, so there are like basic some tools which we use in our day-to-day operations. So I didn't introduce this in the very beginning of the video, so I just needed to clarify that on this video because I'm going to be doing a vital one of the vital tool in the geoprocessing operations, which is called dissolve. All right, so the dissolve tools comes in handy when you need to combine neighboring features in a layer that shares a common attribute values. This is particularly useful for streamlining data for visualization and analysis purposes. So these examples that we have here, I'm going to be doing this in two videos. So the first video will be using the road as an example. All right, so these road layers have different, if you go to the attribute, you will see different things. You will see from what the classes, the primary, residential, trunk links, and other things. Now, we need to dissolve the, if you want to use this for network analysis as it is right now, it's not going to work. All right, there will be some issues, maybe saying the operation fails, all that things like that. So the best tool that will help you get this ready is the dissolve tools. So I'm going to serve the first example, then I will clarify it with the second example. The second example will actually illustrate more what the dissolve tools will do. All right, so let's get right into it. So we have the geoprocessing tools, and we'll go down to the dissolve tools, and then the input feature here will be road. And then let's leave it at the output, let's leave it at the default. So since the dissolve fields are optional, you can either select all or select any. All right, so once that is done, you just click on OK. So now take a look. If I go to select tools here and I select like this, everything will be selected. It dissolves them into one layer. All right, now if, let me remove this. Here you see that on the second one, you see that it makes selection of where I follow. All right, so this dissolve tool enables you to select, make it into just one layer. So if you have dissolved this, depending on what you want to do it for, you have successfully dissolved. Now the second example I want to serve will be on this. So like I said, it's, if I dissolve this, it's going to turn this into just the administrative boundary of Taraba State. So now this gives me an idea. Instead of digitizing, in case you were trying to digitize an administrative features, instead of digitizing the state boundary first, you can digitize the entire local government boundary first, then dissolve it. You have your state boundary. All right, let's get that into it so that you see precisely what I'm talking about. So we'll go to dissolve, and then we bring in the local government. We will not choose any field. We'll just click on OK. We'll leave it at the default geodatabase folder, and we'll close. Now you see that we have our state boundary done. So this is another way you can actually have the same kind of coordinates for your local government and your state. Now if we drag this up, you will see that they are on the same line, nothing is missing. Instead of using just digitize and then you come on having the error of overshoot and overlap and anyone like that, so you can digitize the boundary, the local government boundary, just like I did now. After you're done with the local government boundary, then you can now just dissolve it. So once you dissolve, it becomes one entity. So this is how you can use dissolve for. You can use dissolve for virtually a lot of them, but depending on the purpose which you are, what you want to achieve, you aim to achieve. So I just start the first example. When you're using road, also especially when you're doing road network analysis, you will, if the data you didn't digitize on yourself, especially when it comes from open source data, you will have to dissolve it before there are other things you will do to it, and then after you've dissolved, you will split. Okay, so that is for this. After you have dissolved, you will split it for you to be able to do other things, but that will be done in the network analysis video. This is just more like introducing you to some of what you will see in future. Okay, so we'll end this video here so that we can move right into other videos. So I will see you in another video while we will proceed with the geoprocessing tool.